I like doing things that aren't expected. Frou-frou.
Frou-frou.
Yeah.
The
What is a
temper-
booty spoon?
That's my instrument.
What is that?
It's the booty spoon.
What is that?
I read something that wasn't funny, but I read an article that the title, it said, I think it was Fader maybe. The title said that you're the best, the next big thing. It came out this year, I think. And in the first paragraph, they state that they themselves, for whoever wrote the article, and your biggest fans would consider you to have not enough streaming plays as that you deserve because of how musical and how much catalog you have, which I thought was quite funny, especially if it's coming from a music journalist, because we know how a lot of our favorite artists can take a long time to come up in this industry where things can happen really quickly. Do you feel like you're underrated at times, or that you don't have enough streams as you should have?
No. I think things are kind of happening as they should be happening, and things move along as they should be moving along.
Yeah.
I'm not really into like virality and things just kind of exploding overnight.
Right.
So then I feel like you don't really have the time to process things and really figure out where you stand on what's going on.
Question, how was Camp Flogno?
Camp Flogna was really tight.
Yeah.
Really surreal.
Mm-hmm.
Just because, like, this is one of the few shows that I've imagined before doing it. Like, actually envision myself doing it.
Right.
So to actually physically be doing it was like I don't know. It's like a cliche, like a dream come true, but like a dream come true in a really weird way.
Explain why
like,
in a weird way.
Because it's like I've never seen that many people.
For you?
Yeah, for me.
Right.
And I've just never been in a place where I felt so like validated.
Nice. Okay.
And I don't normally like seek validation, but like when something like that happens, that's kind of like stratospheric, like visually just insane to like look out and see all these people. It's just like really surreal. That's the best way I can think of it. It's just surreal.
How do you pick and choose people around you to build your team? Because I think that's one of the things I would consider the trickiest if I were to be an artist, especially when things are going well.
Yeah.
You know, your messages are going to start popping off. Everybody wants something from you. Often the message will be that they want to help you get to where you want to go. How do you then protect yourself and pick out the right people?
Just honestly off of like personality, just person to person, seeing where someone's passion lies, seeing what someone's values are. And that's probably why I only have like 3 people in my team right now.
Right.
Like I have like Eunice who's sitting here, Tyler
Shout out
who's sitting
Eunice.
here.
Shout out Tyler.
Shout out Tyler and Eunice.
2017 was the first album. 2018 you had, was 2018 Honey Bloom?
Yeah.
Yeah. And then there's been a 3-track EP after that. From each of these projects, how have they evolved from the one before? How have you grown?
I think growing is a good word.
Yeah.
Just because each project and each thing I'm releasing, I want it to serve kind of as a reflection of where I'm standing as a person. So as I've grown as a person and as I've become a little more open and trying to be more honest with the people around me, I think my music has moved in that direction.
Right.
And sonically, my tastes have moved in that direction of me really just trying to make whatever it is I'm into at the time, whether it be like super weird textured music or it be super like straightforward, just like acoustic guitar, poppy music. Like
everyone likes to say, you know, I don't fit in a genre or in a box, which is a really common thing to say now, especially since genres are blurring and blending. But I think you really are a perfect example of someone who can go from synthy pop to then rap and spoken word, and then there's R&B and soul in there. It goes everywhere, but it's still very you. If I say choker, the association usually wouldn't be the sound that comes out the stereo when we put your music on.
Yeah.
And I know that you've picked that name specifically for that reason, isn't it?
Yeah.
If you can explain a little bit to people.
When I was trying to decide on a name, I was really into juxtaposition at that point in time, and I still am in a juxtaposition and how it can kind of give new context and allow you to like look at two things and really see them for what they are. So with Choker, it's just a name to me that it always evokes like a certain response from people, whether it be really positive or like kind of negative, or just like a weird, just like, why would you choose that name? Just because it doesn't necessarily sound like what my music sounds like. And I like that. I wanted it to sound like something that was really aggressive, or like some 90s like metal band or something along those lines. So then when you listen to my music, it's a bit of, I guess, a surprise, or it just kind of, it's not what you expected.
Were you considering other names that maybe really silly ones that never made it?
Yeah, I for sure was considering other names. I don't remember them, and they're all awful. So
I was hoping there'd be
I'm
some
really
awful
bad at
ones.
naming things.
I think you're quite good at naming your projects and your songs and stuff.
That takes way longer than it should.
Really?
Yeah.
Who are some people that you used to listen to growing up
Um,
when Choco was tiny?
Growing up, I listened to a lot of Kid Cudi.
Nice.
I listened to
Favorite Kid Cudi song?
favorite Kid Cudi song. Ooh, that is very tough. That is very tough. Oh my god. Maybe All Along.
All his songs are, you can justify any of his songs, really, can
I
you?
really love Man on the Moon too.
Yeah.
I really love A Kid Named Cudi Mix. I just love all of his stuff. He's like probably like my biggest inspiration. I feel like it's pretty commonplace for people like me or artists making kind of more introspective stuff to say that an artist like Kid Cudi really inspired them, or to an even bigger extent, like saved their life, like gave them something to look to and like a reference point in terms of just being open about your emotions and offering solidarity.
Who's on your playlist right now, though?
My playlist right now,
Other than yourself?
honestly, not myself.
Okay, good.
I don't like sit down and listen to my stuff that much.
You'd be surprised how many people actually tell me that, you know, they mainly just go over their own music every day.
When I'm making something, I'll listen to it nonstop. Like, especially going through versions of songs. Like if I'm making edits and stuff, I'll listen to a song like literally all day, like a billion times. So then by the time something comes out, like I'm just like, I need to listen to something else. Like,
right.
Yeah. But right now, FK Twigs, new project.
New project, amazing.
Of course, Magdalene, incredible. Listening to a lot of Imogen Heap, as always. Imogen Heap, Frou Frou, Bjork.
Classic.
Always.
I found a picture yesterday, which I reposted, of Bjork when she was with Goldie. That, and it was a beautiful black and white
Listening
picture.
to a lot of Goldie too, actually. Yeah, I'm a big fan of like Jungle.
Goldie is the guy.
He is the guy.
And them two together was just like the UK modern day version of, you know, like a Yoko Ono, and it was crazy.
Yeah. I watch a lot of his interviews. I just love watching him talk.
Rogue man, I love it. He says whatever is on his mind.
Yeah, he's awesome.
So you know about drum and bass and jungle and stuff.
Yeah, I will dance, like aggressive kind of dance music like that. I grew up on that stuff because in Detroit you listen to a lot of like techno and just like stuff that's super fast and super hard drums, and that's literally what's on the radio at nighttime. Is they're just playing stuff like that, and then there's these beautiful chords behind it. And I've always been into melody and chords, so
there's something in the waters, definitely in Detroit, where this strong music comes from. You're specifically from Michigan,
yes,
right?
From Detroit.
From Detroit. What was it like growing up over there?
What was it like growing up in Detroit? It was very, at least for me, I was kind of isolated. I was a bit sheltered as a kid, just because my mom was like very protective.
And
so
why
I wasn't
was that,
like,
you think?
We're just like an immigrant family.
Where's your family from?
My mom's from Jamaica.
Right, okay.
Yeah. So she was just very protective of us, and she really wanted to make sure that like we were just kind of, I think, just living a better life than she did. And she wanted us to feel safe, and she wanted us to feel like heard. So just a lot of my time was spent like indoors, like either by myself, just like learning things, or like talking to my brother about stuff, or just really really not like, I wasn't just like out like in the streets like
Right.
running around that much until like maybe I got a little bit older and I would like ride my bike around and like see some things. But generally I was a very like inside kid.
How you finding it in LA?
It's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of different pockets,
Uh-huh.
and it's really easy to find yourself in the wrong pockets where you feel like, oh, this isn't my place.
Mm-hmm.
But I think if you search and you really try to figure out what it is you're trying to do here, you can find it here. And I think I've found my little pockets and where I'm trying to chill, and the people that I've met, my friends who I've made here. I think I found those people. The last few months have been really tight.
Right.
Yeah.
I think you're very your laid back energy fits well here, though. That's one thing I can tell you, because you can't be. My energy is too fast paced here. I feel like my blood pressure is constantly super high because everyone's very chilled and very slow paced, and I'm just trying to get things going.
Yeah.
I think if I would spend longer time here, it would probably be good for my health.
Yeah.
And my blood pressure.
Yeah, yeah.
What's your favorite thing about LA?
Favorite thing about LA, probably the weather.
Beautiful.
It just doesn't change.
Insane, except for the day I landed, I brought the rain with me.
Which is actually appreciated.
Oh.
I like when it rains here because it feels earned.
You're welcome.
Yeah, thank you so much.
I got you. I was actually told you did this to us the whole day.
If
That's
you
what I
did do
heard.
it, then thank you. It was tight.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
What do you miss the most of home?
Family, my mom and my brother.
Your mom proud? Does she understand what you do?
She definitely understands.
That's great.
What I do. Yeah, she sends me articles and stuff, and she's always like, "Yo, let me like come to this show. Like, I'm gonna fly to this show and like come see you and stuff like that." It's tight.
That's mad cute.
Yeah, she's super. I 100% wouldn't be here without like her support. She's 100% like, when I needed any sort of gear, she would like save up, and for Christmas she would like, okay, here's your first keyboard, here's a laptop. Like, she saved up for anything that I needed, and if she like couldn't get it for me, she was like, I'm gonna get it for you within the next like 5 months though. Like, we're gonna.
So she fully supported your dream.
Yeah, 100%. Whatever my dream was, because early on, like, it wasn't music initially. It was soccer.
Oh.
It was basketball. I was big into sports.
What?
Yes.
Especially soccer, football.
Football.
Is what you mean, really,
Yes.
truly. But
Yes.
that's crazy. I wouldn't have thought that. Basketball,
Yeah.
I see, because you got a nice height for it as well. But football.
Yeah, I was gonna go to college for soccer actually.
What position were you playing?
Attacking midfielder.
What?
Number 10.
You're taking the piss.
No, I was out there.
What are some of your favorite
doing
teams
my
or
thing.
countries, if we were going to take globally? Or favorite players, if that's easier?
Favorite teams, I'd probably go like Arsenal, Juventus.
You've got London now in your pocket.
For sure.
Yeah, because you know you're going soon.
Yeah.
Especially the region where we're going to be playing. Where we going to be. I'm acting like I'm in the band. I'm not in the band. But I get to open up for you.
Honorary member.
Yes!
Big fan of Neymar, of course.
Of course.
Favorite player of all time, Ronaldinho. Yes.
Come
You already
on.
know. You already know.
I loved Ronaldinho. I think also with him it was bigger than football.
No, yeah, like the whole like the Joga Bonito movement that he was spearheading. He was so sick.
And so charismatic on the field. He was like a dancer.
Yeah.
I love that. That's
he's so sick. So sick.
You understand. If tomorrow, for some reason, God forbid, I tell you, Toki, you can't make music anymore, what would you do?
What would I do? I'd probably do something else, art related, some other sort of creation.
Okay.
I kind of need creation to thrive at this point, to move forward. So maybe paint, maybe try to direct movies, direct music videos or something like that.
I could also strangely see you teach.
No.
I could, because you just like, you're so chilled. You can like calm down a room and maybe pass on something.
I don't know if my chillness translates to a room full of rowdy children.
Rowdy kids.
I think that would just make them think, oh, we can do whatever we want.
Kids are scary sometimes nowadays. Especially for me, I'm same height as all the kids anyways. Sometimes when I get off the bus and there's a whole group of like school kids, I get lost in the group.
Dang.
You can't tell who's who.
Oh my God.
What is your hair care routine? Tell me.
Honestly, it's pretty non-existent.
I love your hair.
Thank
It's
you.
wonderful.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I don't really do much to it. I condition like maybe once or twice a week. I used to do completely no shampoo for a minute, just
Wow.
because like I hadn't found a shampoo that didn't like severely dry out my scalp.
Right.
Now I kind of use this Shea Moisture shampoo every now and then.
I'll tell you what to eat when you're in Amsterdam. I'll teach you something to say.
What should I say?
Because we're known for our g. That's how we pronounce the G is g.
Yeah.
So people will be impressed if you know how to actually get that out of your throat without choking. So good morning is goedemorgen.
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 There we go. So if you just practice that for a while, by the time you land in Amsterdam, everyone's going to be fascinated.
For sure.
Favorite pizza topping?
Pepperoni.
Right?
Simple.
Why do people say pineapple or like paprika? What is that?
Who says that?
First ever crush.
First ever crush. Girl named Victoria.
Who's Victoria?
Just someone in my kindergarten class.
Cute. Kindergarten days.
Yeah.
Very nice. Mine was Aladdin. Wasn't even a real human being.
I see.
Also, Simba. When
Simba.
he matures a little bit. And I'll tell you what, I'm not the only one.
You're not.
I've had many
And I
conversations.
think there's a lot as a culture we need to unpack about that.
Listen, I agree. And if anybody wants to start with me, I volunteer. Because is it a bit messed up?
It's
interesting.
There's some stuff behind that.
If I send you to an island by yourself and you can only listen to one album for the rest of your time there, what album would it be?
Let It Die by Feist.
Okay, so that's an album from start to finish.
Start to finish.
Never gets old.
Never.
What's on your bucket list of things to do outside of music, just as a person?
I want to get really good at baking. I've been watching a lot of there's this person on YouTube called Hitomari Cooking, and they just like bake. They never talk. There's no music. It's just literally the sound of them baking and the video of them baking. It's the greatest thing ever. I want to become a blacksmith, I think, eventually.
Because why not?
Just cool.
Multifaceted,
Honestly, this is all
man.
it's all just stuff that I watch on YouTube where I'm like, dang, that's cool. And that's a new way to make stuff that I haven't learned yet.
Fair enough.
'Cause I'm just really into making stuff. So it's just like, all right, cool. Like I can make a sword. Yes.
I'm into this all hands-on approach. That's a good attitude to have.
I think so.
I think that's going to take you very far. I'm not even joking. That will take you very far. To love or to be loved?
To love or to be loved? To love.
To love.
To love.
Rather than to be loved.
For sure.
How come?
I like offering that to someone. I like being able to be like, okay, like I'm at this place where I just feel like I can love someone right now.
If we could go into the studio with anyone right now, who would it be?
Dead or alive?
I was going to say, give me one dead, give me one alive.
Prince.
Ooh.
Probably Feist again.
Sick. Okay.
Yeah.
Who do you get compared to the most as an artist?
I could compare it to Franco.
You get that a lot, don't you?
Yeah.
How does that make you feel?
I think my friends care about it more than I care about it.
Right?
It's more so, initially it's like flattering, and then past that point, it's like, I can see where the similarities come through maybe vocally, but I also think people don't have that many reference points when it comes to young black artists kind of living in a space that's beyond just like one genre, or like, or you're not just rapping or you're not just singing. So it's like, who can you reference who is beyond all of that stuff. It's like, okay, you can like reference someone like Frank, or you can reference someone like, I don't know, maybe like Toro Remo at this point.
Yeah. Okay.
But
yeah,
I feel like
narrow.
less people know about like an artist like Toro Remo than I know about like a person like Frank.
If there's some young teenager in their bedroom looking at this or listening to you right now, and imagine you have become their Kid Cudi, which I'm not sure if you're aware. I can imagine you get loads of messages from beautiful fans from all over the world who tell you how, important you are to them.
Yeah.
What would you want to tell them? Or even your younger self, what would you tell your younger self if they were listening right now?
It would be a lot of cliches.
Cliches are cliche for a reason. No?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I was talking to Eunice about that the other day.
Yeah.
Just like the super simple stuff like follow your heart, or just like follow your dreams, do what you want to do. I'd say on a wide scale, a lot of people kind of just like say that and then disregard it. But if you really do that, things happen the way you would want them to happen.
Amazing. Thank you.
Thank you.
I can't wait for the London gig. I can't wait to see you play and perform.
It's going to be fun.
I can only imagine how fun it's going to be.
It's going to be tight.
And then years from now, I'm going to be looking at you on whatever stages and posters and videos and whatever, and I'm just going to go, I remember that guy from back then when we were in the old Earth, Wind and Fire recording studio in LA. Thank you so much for your time. I'm happy. I feel like everything that's happening for you now is well deserved.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to witness your journey, because I think you're like a Pokemon, you're like a Charizard. Remember how hard it was to get a Charizard? That's what you are. You're like that wild Pokemon card that everyone's chasing, but only certain people have it. I know that sounds weird, but really and truly.
No, I appreciate that reference.
Yeah, you get what I'm saying?
I get it, yeah.
I'm going to end it on that note.
For sure.
Thank you for today.
Thank you.